humor and earthiness and crudeness that some people aren't going to get past. It's just, as Bert warned in his review he wrote of the book, it's not for the religious. Some people are going to be offended by the book. They're going to think it's unspiritual, too earthy, too crude, or they're going to just think it's shallow, and that's okay. And maybe it is, but there's meaning there. If they can get the insight that I'm not just telling stupid stories to tell stupid stories, but there's a point, and sometimes that point is lighten up. Don't take yourself so seriously. Take God seriously. We take death seriously, but don't take yourself so seriously.
So that was another question. You've answered it without me asking it. You're talking about what you want people to take away from this is the whole issue of, you just said it in 2 words, lighten up.
Lighten up's a big point. Learning the freedom of grace, to discover that the yoke that Jesus has for you to wear is fit just right for you, and you don't have to be somebody else. And you don't have to make yourself pretty for God to like you. You don't have to make yourself successful for God to use you. You don't have to create ministry or create victory. Those are things that He does in and through our lives. And I tell in the very beginning, in the preface of the book, one of my life lesson stories is the story of Abraham, who couldn't have a child, and God said, "You're going to have a child." You can't have a child. He waits and waits and waits and waits. He gets tired of waiting. Finally, he says, "Well, I've got to help God. Sarah has an idea. Let's do it this way. Take my handmaiden. Abraham, you have sex with her." He does. She gets pregnant. God says, "That's not my pick. That's what you can do, Abraham, with Sarah's idea. This is what you can come up with in your flesh, your strength." Though he's a beautiful boy, God rejected him. God said, "I want this child to be born from my spirit by grace." And I've often learned, and so Abraham and Sarah actually have sex, and they participated in the miracle, but it was still a miracle of God, and they had a child, and they named him Isaac. And Isaac means laughter, and every time they call him, they're reminded of God's incredible grace, that He, in spite of their limitations, in spite of their ugliness, He gives them a beautiful son.
In spite of their age.
In spite of their age, which is part of the ugliness, in the sense of their weakness. And so my heart, in that God spoke to me, is that the power of ugly is my Isaac. I've had plenty of Ishmaels in my life. I actually tried to write a few years ago. Just started writing, and it was like somebody that went on a vacation in high school and had to write about their summer vacation. "This summer I went to the beach and I got a raft and went swimming." It was horrible. I mean, really, it was just horrible. My wife looked at it and goes, "Honey." And so
she didn't say, "I know what you did last summer."
No. She said, in her nicest way she could, "That's horrible," and it was. And I know now, as I've written Power of Ugly, is that it's a work of grace. In my weaknesses, my ugly, His grace has come through. I've never thought about myself as a writer. I've been a verbal communicator for 33 years. I've preached thousands and thousands of sermons, and I'm just a verbal, and I'm a storyteller verbally. So finding my written voice was a very challenging experience.